reached the Connecticut State Police Troop D in Danielson. All calls are recorded. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. The fax number is 860-779-4904. To obtain a police report or reach the clerk's office, please press 1. To speak with the evidence officer, please press 2. For fingerprinting information, please press 3. To speak with a trooper or deskman, please press 4. State Police, how can I help you?
Hi, can I be connected to Trooper Manbeck, please?
Sure, he's on the other line. If you can hold on a minute.
I will absolutely hold as long as it takes. He's a great trooper. I'd love to speak with him.
All right, thank you.
State Police Trooper Manbeck.
Mr. Manbeck,
You run a 20 for me?
I got some more information for you.
Okay.
The individual who was in the car wreck, he was so drunk he doesn't even know where he crashed, but he definitely crashed into a swamp, and he was dropped off on Lynch Road. I don't have the number of the house, but he was dropped off on Lynch Road, and his name is Mike Haggett, Haggit.
I have no. And what date are we saying this is from?
This is let's see. Let me go look at the calendar. Hang on, please. This was last Saturday, Friday night into Saturday midnight, early morning. So this is the 14th and 15th of October, somewhere late night on the 14th into the early hours of the 15th in October this month. He was given a ride, and his car was towed from the swamp and brought to T&B Motors. And he was dropped off on Lynch Road, where he ultimately raised hell, assaulted the homeowners, and then filed a false police report on them from a gas station. Now, the individuals who ultimately were arrested, maybe you can connect the two reports with this information. Their names are Ryan Loree, Loree, and his girlfriend's name, who was also illegally arrested on a false police report, is April Moan, Moan. She was actually the most severely injured. The guy that filed the false police report bit her finger open and bit her arm and all of that stuff, and somehow she's the one that ends up getting arrested. trying to throw the guy out of their house, who refused to leave. He bit this girl, and somehow she's being charged. And I guess the charges against him involve the alleged stabbing. It's alleged that they stabbed this guy, Mike Haggett, but he didn't get any medical attention, and he didn't go to the hospital, but he was stabbed. It sounds pretty crazy. It really does.
I guess it depends. It sounds like normal stuff that we deal with.
I'm glad I'm not a cop. My grandfather was a police officer in Hartford for years, and I've got a plethora of family in the Hartford Fire and elsewhere throughout the state. I have the utmost respect for public servants, law enforcement officers, and things, and it's very disheartening to be berated by fellow citizens who just have, I would say, respectfully, of course, prejudiced, preconceived misconceptions about law enforcement and know nothing at all about our laws, about procedures and policies, about our rights, about the Constitution, none of it. They just, if he's in a uniform, he's a hero no matter what. Even if he curb stomps somebody and deprives them of their rights, he's okay. They should have just listened to the cop and they would have been fine. It's insane, man. So I get flack from the cops, I get flack from the citizens, and I'm just trying to disseminate matters of public interest to the public. You know, it's probably equally as hard being in my position as it is yours.
So I found an event with some of those names in it. He did get medical attention. EMS was started. There was observed to be a minor stab wound.
Yeah, I saw it. He was in the ambulance for like 4 minutes, maybe 5 tops.
So he got medical attention, and for whatever reason, it determined it wasn't.
Yeah, it was benign.
Maybe he declined. Yeah, maybe he declined medical attention.
Yeah, he definitely did decline medical attention because the alleged stab wound was benign.
Well, it's still, if that's how it's reported and he was stabbed, then it's still stabbing.
Yeah, if he was really stabbed. There's no proof he was stabbed. We don't know where that cut he had came from. Could have been from a nail when he was getting pushed out of the homeowner's house. You know, a nail hanging out of a railing or something.
Maybe. I guess if you really want to get creative, it's a possibility.
In court, it has to be proven he was stabbed, right? These people are innocent until proven guilty, right? So, as far as I know, there is no stabbing. As far as I know, he made up the whole report, and the Troop D troopers that responded didn't want to hear from the neighbor who witnessed the whole thing. They didn't want to hear him say what really happened. They didn't want to talk to anybody. They just took the call and then barged into this guy's house while him and his girlfriend are sleeping. They kicked the door right in, went right into their room, ordered him out of the house while they're dead asleep, and then arrested him on hearsay. That's a serious problem, man. That is not good police work. It's unbecoming of our police officers.
Well, listen, I'm more than happy to try to find what you're looking for, but
excellent.
I'm also not exactly excited to hear you.
Oh, I know, I understand. I don't mean it. I get it.
I think it's a little bit unfair because you only have half the story. You haven't even heard whatever reports maybe, and neither have I.
No, you're right.
So it sounds like you already got your mind made up without hearing everything, which is unfair, which is actually biased.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's made up, but from what I've seen,
I'm just
and
saying,
I understand.
You already sound like
I
you've
get it.
drawn your conclusions. And,
I
I
haven't.
can respect what you're doing, but be fair is all I'm saying.
All
okay?
right, I get it. 100%. I agree with what you're saying, but I just have to affirm I'm trusting that the information I have is good, and I'm trying to verify. I have not concluded anything.
Well, at the risk of having things go slightly south from listening to you, you sound like you're hoping for a certain outcome. It sounds like you've made up your mind, which, if you are doing what you say you're doing, it's unfortunate. Because, if your heart's in the right place and you're truly trying to do this for the right reasons, then you'd be looking for this to see both sides of it before the way you're talking.
I understand.
Like
I think you're on. I think you're right. And I think what you're sensing from me in my articulation, the reason why you're concluding what you've concluded is probably based on my. I wouldn't say I'm prejudiced, but based on my previous experiences in dozens and dozens of cases that don't even involve me. Cases where I'm a witness or cases that I've investigated, where I've been diligently trying to absolve the police from any wrongdoing. It turns out that the police were absolutely wrong. So in those experiences,
so you're basing your feelings off of prior, engagement, which is something that police get criticized for all the time, right?
Exactly. Yes, it's a terrible a natural human reflex that we all kind of suffer from.
And I think that's where the disconnect happens a lot of times, is people forget that police are human and capable of making mistakes.
Correct.
There's no such thing as a perfect human that never makes a mistake.
Correct.
So if all of a sudden we're not allowed to be human, That's a problem.
Well, yeah, I agree with you
So
100%.
I found the incident that you're referring to. I'm just going to give you the case number, and you can run with it from there.
Okay, great. And this is for the car accident, right?
There is no car accident.
Yeah, the car was the man that was who ended up on Lynch Road was driven there by one of your troopers, and then his car was towed out of the swamp and impounded at T&B Motors.
There is no car in a swamp that I can see, and looking back, what I did find is somebody called up and said there was a vehicle in somebody's yard, and that the operator had walked off. When we had got on scene, that car was in the yard with nobody to be found. The person was found later and was unable to be arrested because there was no operation. So, like I said, there are two sides to every story.
Yeah, but he fled so the car was parked. It wasn't in an accident.
Correct.
Okay.
If I have to pull that one back up because I've been reviewing this other one, so I have to try to find the other one. But do you want this case number? Because I have 911 calls coming in.
Yeah, please. That would be great.
2200-44-1812.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Manbeck. And the case number on the car parked in the yard?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I have the right one. Intoxicated male pedestrian. I'm assuming this is the one. It's the only thing that...
That's Mike Haggett, right?
Remotely...
Mike Haggett?
Sorry, what?
That's involving Mike Haggett and his vehicle in the yard?
No, there's no Mike Haggett.
That's the guy who filed the report against April and Mr. Laurie.
There's no Mike Haggett in the incident with the vehicle, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Mike Haggett is in the other one with those two. That's the one I just gave you.
Yeah.
But this other incident with there's no accidents, I ran it from 10:14 to 10:16 for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for being thorough, by the way. Does it tell you who the registered owner of that vehicle is, or is there when the police made contact with the man who was not operating, is he identified as Mike Haggett or somebody else?
Hold on, I'm trying to search this another way.
Okay, yeah, take your time, bro. And I'm sorry for coming off the way I did.
So there is no accidents at all in those from the 14th to the 16th in Chaplin. The only other thing that I found, like I said, it was coded as a patrol check because there was a car that was parked in somebody's yard. The homeowner found it, and whoever was driving walked off, and there's nothing to do with Mr. Haggett.
Okay. And was that vehicle ultimately towed to T&B Motors?
Let's see. Pickup left. It looks like, nope, that's towed by Northeast.
Northeast. And was there the reason why he was told he couldn't pick up his vehicle at 9:30 in the morning the next day, I believe Saturday morning, is because the breathalyzer system had been removed from the car. Is there anything about a breathalyzer system being removed from the car in this report?
There's not even a report because there was nothing to write about. A report only gets written if there's a crime and we're actively pursuing an arrest because charges have been substantiated.
Okay.
A report is really just to present the facts and circumstances of a crime or a case to the court.
Okay.
Of our findings. So if there's no arrest or anything with that, then there's no report. I don't see.
Yeah, it's awful confusing because there's a man named Mike Haggett who was not allowed to redeem his vehicle because he had removed the breathalyzer from it. That's the reason that they would not release his car to him.
Oh, hold on.
So I would assume that's criminal, right? I mean, if he's ordered by the court
that would be, hold on, I just found a different on that. I'll give you this case number. This is the one you're looking for. 2200-440-390.
Excellent. That's the one involving Mr. Haggett.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, is there anything in there that you might be able to, confirm as far as my inquiries? Like, was a breathalyzer was removed?
The report has not been finished being written yet. It's still being worked on.
Okay.
So that's not uncommon. It's an accident.
So I wouldn't even be able to get access to this down in Middletown yet because it hasn't been adjudicated. So it was an accident.
Came in as an accident, and now it is a traffic service. There won't be a report for that, no.
Right, but he was drunk, and then he got a ride from the cops to this address.
I don't know. I wasn't there, sir.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. I don't think there's anything else you could do for me. I appreciate it. Thank you for being professional and sharing your opinions with me. You have yourself a good day.
You too.
All right, bye.